How's it going, everyone? Wayne the Known here, and welcome back to another episode of Geeking Out, where we basically discuss everything nerd and geek related. I am once again joined by Nick and Dano of Medfirst Retro Wormhole, and today we are basically doing a recap. It's, it's been a few months, but you guys are on your fourth year now. It's been over a little over 4 years since you opened Retro Wormhole, Nick. How's that been, being open for 4 years here in Medford and being like the one shop that has like as we've always talked, has over more than 1,000 plus Funko Pops.
Well, we're in our fourth year. We've passed our third year, so we haven't quite hit 4 years yet. But it's going well. Quite a bit's changed. The store continues to adjust with trends and what's hot and what's not. We still do quite a bit in toys and Funkos, but not as much as we used to. We do a heck of a lot more now with Pokemon cards and a ton with we've always done records, but now we do records, tapes, CDs, as well as movies in VHS, Blu-ray, DVD, Betamax, Laserdisc. So we're really leaning into the physical media formats. And physical media includes Pokemon cards, as far as I'm concerned. It's a type of media, just like a comic book or a print book.
Nice.
So it's going well, and the store now houses multiple brands. So it's the Retro Wormhole. It is also Rogue Records and Music, and it is also Rogue Trading Company.
Nice. And for those who aren't familiar with Laserdiscs, they're just basically giant DVDs the size of record players that you put in basically what looks like a record player.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a cross between a record and a giant CD.
Pretty
It reads
much.
with a laser. It's an analog format.
It's the grandfather of the DVD.
Yeah, it's basically the grandfather of the DVD.
Basically keeping the retro and Retro Wormhole.
Yep.
For sure.
Now Dano, how long have you been with the company for now, if you can
About
remember?
2 years, I'd say.
Nice.
Over 2 years, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
2 years.
And you guys just recently did basically changed some things around in the store too, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely.
We did. We're constantly changing the store around, moving things around, reorganizing it. When we opened, we had the majority of the stuff in the store was open sell. And as years have gone by, we've had more need to have stuff behind counters in glass cases. So we have the Pokemon counter at the back, which is everything from singles to packs of graded and non-graded cards. And then at the front, we have a lot more video games than we used to, which is another thing we do a lot of now is retro video games. So we expanded the counter at the front and opened up the floor plan, but put more of the floor behind the counter, not a lot, but a little bit more, so we can display our video game inventory and what needs to go in the cases and behind the counter more effectively, which also allowed us to add a second register, which was awesome.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that you guys have two registers now, and also speaking of new things added since the store's been open for over 3 years now, you now have added arcade cabinets, you have a crane machine, you've added even like hard candies, like themed candies too.
Yeah.
Yep. We have a quote unquote food and beverage department, which involves basically for the most part, we try to focus on food and beverage that is somehow retro or nerd related.
Like your
novelty.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I could have thrown this away, but come on, it's
cool.
Duff. I have to keep it as a prop, which I think if anyone gets these, I don't know if you guys still have these at the Retro Room, but I highly recommend that once you're done finishing it, rinse it out and keep it as like a display piece.
And it is not actually beer; it is an orange soda, but it's still Duff brand.
It's very good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, candy tins, video game themed candy tins, horror themed candy tins, pop rocks, Pez dispensers, just little stuff here and there, gifty stuff.
So let's see here. Dana, what's it been like for you working with Nick for these past 2 years at the Retro Wormhole?
been great actually. It's like we have this yin and yang thing going on where we just kind of bounce ideas off of each other, and it's like, I mean, that's most all of the time we agree on the stuff that we're going to do and we do it. So like that's really important in any partnership is finding somebody that you can get along with and, proceed forward and continue to grow and continue to have fun doing it. And that's what we do. It's beautiful.
I mean, you seem to enjoy it. I know you're usually in charge of like the back with the Pokemon cards and all the trading cards and everything
Sure.
too. What's
Yeah.
what's that been like being in charge of all like the trading cards and everything?
Chaotic. It's been very busy. We sell a lot of cards. We buy a lot of cards. We sell a lot of cards. I'm always going out finding cards. It's fun though. I enjoy it.
Nice. Like I can tell like I think you're like I said about the Funko Pops, you guys are like the only store I as far as I know of that sells a lot of Pokemon cards, as far as I know.
I hear we have the biggest selection in Southern Oregon, but
I've heard that
yeah,
too.
I mean,
I don't know.
from what I've seen in the glass cases and everything.
And all the binders.
Oh yeah, no, all the
Yeah.
binders. Back to you, Nick. What made you want to get into like the trading card business as well for Retro Wormhole?
Oh, it was kind of an evolution. We started by doing Pokemon mystery packs from collections that we came across and started putting those together, and it just started as one little cabinet, and
Yeah, it was a
when
small space.
yeah, it was a very small
Very-
space. And then when Dano came on, he had the knowledge and passion for it. I wouldn't have been able to do it if he wasn't here. Because he had the knowledge and passion for it. So, you know, when he started with it, we were still operating off of basically a card table at the back
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
and a little spinner with some cards in it. And then at one point,
We acquired those.
we pulled the
jewelry
trigger. Oh, we acquired some jewelry cases. That's what it was.
what
We
got us
acquired some
started
pre-owned jewelry display cases
from a friend.
and patched those back together. They were not in great shape,
No.
but we patched them back
They were in the
together.
garage.
Recovered them with felt because they were like a salmon pink color and all
Ew.
chipped up and nasty.
They were 80s,
Oh.
So we
but
worked.
not the cool 80s.
Yeah, that's right. You got because
Oh.
now it's like it's a single one. Now it's like an L shape. You got like one here and then like
Yeah.
the stuff
Yeah,
on
so
like this side.
Yeah, so we worked
Sweet.
with those for a while, and then eventually we needed even more space, and I ordered all new cases. We've got, I want to say, what there's is it 1 6 foot
Yeah.
or 2 6 foot or 1 6 foot? I think it's a 6
It's
foot,
6
a
foot,
4 foot.
And then another 4 on the edge.
Yeah, it's 2 4 foot cases and a 6 foot case shaped like an L. And those cases are a more traditional retail display case,
Yeah.
3-tiered. So we've got, room for not just one row of cards in the bottom of it. There's basically 3 levels of cards
Yeah.
in each case.
Wow. Do you guys ever plan on getting like those tall display cases that you see people put figures in eventually, just in case, just like for later down
We
the
have a
road?
couple of semi-tall cases behind us that we keep at the front of the store for the minimal amount of loose figures that we still do.
Yeah.
We really just do higher end loose stuff, old Star Wars in terms of loose figures.
Good.
But at the back, we do also have some of those slim wall cases for displaying trading cards that you hang from the wall, and then the front, it locks and the front flips up. So we have 2 of those full of cards as well.
One I do graded, and then the other I like to cater to the players as well as the collectors. So one case has just playable cards that are tournament legal.
Mhm.
So I get a lot of guys that, they come in, they want to collect, and then the other guys that just want to play. So I like to have both.
Yeah, no, and you guys still have like inventory way in the back that you haven't put on the shelves yet because of like how like retro and old they are too, if I'm not mistaken.
Like card wise or movies?
Just in general. I
In
think
general, yeah, we always have stuff
Movies we have.
Yeah. We
Oh
have a
yeah,
lot
you
of
guys have a
back
lot of
stock.
movies on DVD and VHS from what I've seen.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I think I estimated our movie department, including what's in the back, is around 6,000 titles now.
Shit.
Wow.
Believe it. And it's probably going to continue to grow because there's an increased demand for physical media because most big box stores are taking it out or reducing it. And there's a lot of secondhand resellers that had small sections in their store that are taking it out and just deferring to us because our department's gotten so big.
Oh yeah, I mean, from experience, for when you had me that one time stock the DVDs in alphabetical order, like there was a lot, not just like movies and single season TV shows, but you guys have like box sets too of like certain shows as well, which you rarely see nowadays at any store. They're like they can go for a lot of money too because you don't see those box sets anywhere else.
Yeah, the huge difference too with this store and other stores, like Nick taught me, is curated. Like we try to find all the hard to find titles, so people come to us because they can't find these movies, but we happen to find them. So that's the huge difference as well. It's like we have so many unique titles. It's not like going to like a thrift store where you just get a bunch of odds and ends.
Right. Back to you, Nick. What's that been like just collecting things that people have rarely seen in like the past 30 plus years?
It's a new experience every day. um, yeah, the when there's departments that we're in now or areas that we're in that we weren't in when we were open. Movies being one of them. Video games was very minimal when we opened, and cards were non-existent. It's been fun, and it's also helped, I think, expand both of our knowledge bases
Absolutely.
because we'll see stuff that I don't know, we just see stuff sometimes that I'm like, I don't even know this existed,
Yeah.
and there's a lot that we know exists that we don't
Oh
see.
yeah.
Sometimes we get surprised.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I remember stopping by your shop one time and you were trying to search for what was it? One of the Transformers that had the gun, like the Japanese edition.
Oh,
The
the Megatron?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, we actually had one in a box
Yeah.
and sold it recently.
Nice. Yeah, because like I swear every time I come by your store, I walk in like you get something new or someone is bringing you guys something that you've like no one's ever even heard or seen of in a long time.
Yep.
Right.
We're also doing a lot now with audio video equipment. So we've actually, in the last month, believe it or not, I think we've sold 4 or 5 CRT televisions for gaming. And we're selling a lot of not just turntables, record players, and speakers. But we have 2 different setups. We have your modern setup, which is a turntable and powered speakers. But then we also have people that prefer traditional setups. We sell stereo receivers, tape decks, CD changers, laser disc players. We're out of VCRs right now. I can't keep VCRs in stock.
Oh yeah, because they're like people like that nostalgia of like the good old VCRs and
Yeah.
everything.
Yep.
Um, have you so speaking of the VCRs, I imagine do you plan on ever getting I mean I'm not sure if you had them, the old I know you guys will remember this and whoever's watching this may remember the old VCR rewinders.
We have one right now. Yeah.
I come
Nice.
across them sometimes.
And we come across them if they're clean and in good condition, we'll pick them up.
Nice. So another question I got to ask you, Nick. What made you want to? Because I don't think I've ever asked this before. Every time I look at them, what made you want to get the electric bass guitars above you guys?
Um, so yeah,
What?
now we're up to 5 guitars in the store. Actually 4 guitars and a bass. And it's just an extension of the Rogue Records and Music side of the store. It fits the vibe of the store. We don't sell a lot of them, but they make good decoration. Just like we don't sell a lot of skateboards, but I got skateboard decks hanging
Oh
everywhere.
yeah, that's right,
Oh.
huh?
They do sell. We don't sell a lot of them. It's not our main business driver.
No.
It's just part of the vibe. And who knows?
They're really cool.
Someday, who knows? Someday as we continue to grow, maybe we have a full-blown music store in here where people can't just come to get their records, tapes, and CDs, but they can come buy their guitars and their amps
Who knows?
and a variety of equipment that they need. Because there's a lot of people that are into music or getting into music at a young age that it's a entry point for them to get into actually learning how to play music.
I mean, all you guys need now are those old things you see at music stores where you can go to the stand with the headphones and just pop in like a CD or something and listen to the music.
Yeah.
All you're missing is those, and you're like, you guys are good to go because I don't
Yeah,
think you don't see those anymore. How you used to go into like a Radio Shack or a music store at the
yeah.
mall, and they have those like headphone displays you can put on and just listen to whatever music. Like, oh, I like that song. Where's that CD at or everything?
Mhm.
I don't know if they sell those. I don't know if they sell those separately. I don't know if we could find one of those things.
I don't know. I'd have to look into the whole
It's a good
kiosk
idea,
thing.
Wade. Yeah, like it.
So back to you, Dano. What's been some of your favorite things about the store? And aside from the Pokemon cards, what are some of the other favorite things you like in the store?
Every day is different, like we were talking about. You just never know who or what is gonna walk in. It's just it's fun to me. Like I've always been since I was a young child. I mean, I started out just loving Star Wars. I remember that because my grandparents they read that book to me. It was a picture book, the original one, and I'm probably what 4 or 5. So I've always just wanted to buy those type of things, and then they bought and sold collectibles. So I just really enjoyed that, and being here has definitely been the best experience because it's actually what I love to do. So
Nice.
every day, yeah.
We had a
Uh,
unique experience. I don't know, was it a month ago?
Okay.
Um, two guys walk up to check out, and
Oh
one
yeah.
guy was buying
This is cool.
I had multiple Gamorrean Guard Funko Pops, and he was buying all of them. And I said something to him like, was there a run on Gamorrean Guards right now? And he said, no, I actually played the character in the show. And I said,
Yeah.
and it didn't register right away. I said, wait, what? He's like, I'm
oh,
the
the
guy
Book of
in
Boba
the suit
Fett's
in the book of
nice.
Boba Fett. I was
Yeah.
in 7 episodes.
So-
And the guy next to him was a stormtrooper.
Who was really
Oh,
cool guy.
So
that is awesome having people who actually
Right.
played in the show or the movie stop by like it's one of those like one of those big fish stories like that's
That's
yeah.
awesome.
cool.
And he was definitely telling the truth because
Yeah.
we follow him on Instagram now and all the pictures are there.
Oh, he was showing me pictures on the
Yeah, and he's showing
phone.
pictures on
And the
phone. Yeah.
stormtrooper died like 20 different ways. Like he was showing me all the death scenes. It was really cool.
And he says whenever he
Nice.
goes somewhere and they have Gamorrean Guard Funkos or anything Gamorrean Guard, he buys it so he can. Because
Yeah,
then when he goes to a con, he has stuff to
right.
sign for people.
Nice. Yeah, it reminds me of that one time. This is before you, Dano, how your shop got like nothing but like Bruce Campbell merchandise thanks to Rogue City Comics.
Correct. Our wonderful neighbors, Rogue City
Yeah,
Comics.
like
We still have a few
there's
pieces
like
left
there's like
We do.
lingering around.
Just a
the
little bit.
the figures, like it was like a big toad, I believe. The figures, the video games, a giant statue from Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
Like
I can tell you, I wish I would have hung on to some of the video games because they were all sealed, and we
oh
probably
yeah, the original
should have hung on
Xbox.
to some of them and sent them off to get graded.
The original Xbox games, which actually brings me to my next question. Speaking of the games, this is back to you, Nick. What made you want to get free playable arcade cabinets such as like the Marvel one and the the uh the Dragon's Lair one?
Oh, because people love it. It draws people in.
I loved it.
Initially, the fear is always that you're going to put something like that in and people are going to take advantage of it and come in and overuse it and hang out all day. And we haven't had that problem.
Generally, they don't. They
Um,
don't.
we rotate the cabinets pretty regularly. The 5 we originally had in the front window, those are all gone, except for I have a Street Fighter 2 cocktail table still that we keep stored right now.
Nice.
Now we're working with Galaga, the X-Men 4-player, and a Tempest machine.
Ooh.
People love the Tempest machine. People
Cool.
love the X-Men machine. So we just like to keep it fresh. When people walk by and see our window display,
I mean, you can't miss that.
Well, they see the window display and then they can see into the shop. And then when they can see into the shop, they see the arcade cabinets on, they see the TVs, they see the record department and all the different stuff we got going on in the store. It draws them in. So um, we just want, as people walk by, we want them to look in and say, you know, that's a place I want to go inside.
Oh
The
yeah, I mean,
special retro sauce.
I mean, hell, when you had like the Ninja Turtles one, I think the Simpsons one, you even had like custom bar stools of like the games too.
Yeah, I'm sitting on one.
Dano's sitting on an X-Men one right
Yeah.
now. Yep.
Like, where did you get those, by the way? I think I remember you briefly telling me when you got the cabinets.
Well, those stools were made to go with the cabinets, the
Yeah.
ones that match the cabinets. Um, so it's arcade one up. The majority of the stuff that we've had is made by Arcade One Up. There's been a few
Shout
other
out to
brands
them.
out there. Um, they all come boxed and we have to assemble them unless we
Oh,
bought a pre-owned unit, which we do sometimes. I've actually reached out to Arcade One Up several times, and have thus far not had a lot of luck trying to secure a wholesale account because it is our desire to buy a bunch of them
Yeah.
and bring them in
ooh.
and we have a basement here, so we would
Oh
set up
yeah.
a mini arcade in the basement
Ooh,
and
that would be
several
cool
machines
because
upstairs. And then when one sells from the upstairs, we'd rotate one out of the basement
that'd be
to the
pretty
upstairs.
that'd be pretty cool because you don't really see because I mean like those types of arcades are you really don't see them a whole lot because there's like a lot of arcades that are like that malls or whatever or don't really have a wide variety but like those classic ones like you would see like in a movie theater or at a mall back in like the 80s and 90s and early 2000s or like the coolest thing ever because I grew up type playing those types of arcades and so do you guys so like having like a downstairs arcade would be pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goals. If
Is
anybody's
that,
got a line with one up, tell
oh
them
yeah.
to give the Retro Wormhole wholesale account.
Arcade One Up, if you're listening to the now, I imagine that's something you would eventually start charging for, just like what they used to do back in the day.
Um,
Be more like a
I don't know because those are designed to be free to play arcades.
yeah, be more like for an event.
What we
Yeah,
would have to do is not charge necessarily to play the games, but hold an event where maybe there was a an entry to get into the event, and then once people are in, the games are all free to play.
nice.
I don't know the legal technicalities around that yet.
Sure.
Your guess is as good as mine. Back to you, Dana. What are your thoughts on the whole video game things for Retro Wormhole?
Well, video games I've always loved to play, so I've just made sure that I go out try to find unique games and consoles, and we have a pretty good variety right now of
Oh yeah,
different
you
games.
do.
So we're always looking, trying to find. Um, Back to the arcade event, we were also considered doing some like card events too, eventually in the future.
Ooh,
So we could have
that'd be
arcade
nice.
machines in there and cards, maybe possibly food. I don't know. We've thrown things around, so
Oh yeah, and I mean, you guys technically have the space for it, and I always forget that that place has a basement half the time.
Yeah, the
yeah,
basement's it's almost the same size.
that's a store.
Yeah,
I mean,
actually, it might technically be just as big because even though it gets narrower in one part, it is actually longer because it goes all the way to the back of the building.
Really? So
Yeah,
yeah, there's definitely that chance of having like arcades or like gaming events down there
yeah.
because you don't really see a whole lot of that. I mean, you got like I said, it's rare to have something like that here in town, but it's definitely it would even draw people like who don't just live here, but like they hear about it from like different states or something. Like, oh, I want to travel to that. I want to go to something like that.
And back to what you were saying when you asked your question to me, I would like eventually, we've talked about this, but having the vintage quarter machines, just a couple perhaps. I mean, they're very bulky, they're very big, they break, they
A
need
lot of
repairs,
wiring.
people can do it.
Those
But it
things are
would
like
be, I mean, that's a
sputters.
goal as well, like to have some of those.
Oh yeah, I just can't imagine. I know I've seen like videos and maintenance on those things can be a
Yeah.
bitch sometimes. I think Nick may get frustrated trying to like get all the wiring and everything.
Yeah. So
Oh man. Back to you, Nick. What's been some of your, I know I asked this once when we did the my collection thing. But since we've done that, what's been some of your favorite things that have come into the shop or that you've sold over the years?
Um, well, I think last time I might have told you the original Megatron was big, so I'm gonna change it up this time. Um, we recently had a turntable that was from 1982. It was a Sony, and it opened like a drawer.
And those aren't cheap either.
So you can put the record in and you close it, and you can set stuff on top of it because it slides open like a drawer. So that was neat. Um, Video game console wise, Vectrex.
yeah, Vectrex,
We got a
the
Vectrex
3DO,
machine, a Panasonic 3DO.
Sega CDX,
Yeah, Sega Nomad
that's
CDX.
Atari Jaguar,
Atari, couple different Atari Jaguars have come through.
just the
What was the one?
the hard to
Real.
find stuff.
The
Oh, the Panas. Oh, the oh, I know what you're talking about. That thing was crazy.
And for those who
CDI.
don't, and for
who
those
made
who,
that?
Some
Philips
Philips CDI. We
CDI
got one of
oh
those.
man, and for those
was
wondering about what a Vectrex looks like, for those, because I didn't even know what thing, this is what
Yes.
the
yeah.
fact, and then I guess the controller goes like right in front of where
Yep.
that,
We
I see,
have one in store right now.
I've never even, so for those who are watching this or for who are fans or you have kids who are you're trying, who want to get into like the retro gaming. I mean, the fact that you guys have one of these, 'cause I never even heard of this. This is definitely like what, late 70s, early 80s.
82.
Yeah. All right. Yeah,
If
I've
you
never
want to
even
come down and play it, Wayne, yeah.
I may have to like I mean, while we're talking about this, I'll have to come down and check it out and then show video of it for those who are curious about it because
Pretty cool.
I've never even heard
Um,
of this thing. That's pretty freaking cool.
Trying to think what else even has come through here that was we just sold a signed Beatles poster the other day. That was a an interesting.
It was signed by Paul and Ringo, right?
Yep, Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr. There's been some extremely rare sealed Pokemon product that's come through, like
Yeah.
packs that are worth in excess of $300 a pack.
Yeah, like base
Ooh.
set 2, Jungle. Yeah,
Uh,
Gym Heroes,
yeah, record wise,
Team Rocket.
a lot of still a lot of obscure and unique vinyl,
I
and
mean,
even
good.
CDs and tapes.
Yeah, just rare ones.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy having like modern day TV shows, depending on what they are having um or video games are having records, uh vinyl records made about them, like, Cuphead or Stranger Things, or even Taylor Swift has vinyl records now.
Yeah,
I'm
expensive
just
ones.
I'm just saying that, that you guys have a lot of like from like old ones to ones people never heard of to, like I said, you guys have a lot of stuff. Like I remember again coming in and seeing, and I haven't seen one in like over 20 years when they first came out, was a original sealed Xbox with an Xbox Live thing.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh,
and it came with like the two games. Like I haven't seen one of those. The fact it was in the box, and the box was in good
we
condition.
have one of those right now.
Yeah, we
Like
still
who
have that guy, and
and like whoever
we
owned
have
that must have
we just
taken
sold
real
a
good care.
we just sold a Halo Edition Xbox
Yeah.
complete, not in the box, but it was complete in great shape.
Oh
That
yeah.
one came out of my personal collection actually.
Oh, that's right, because you
And
have a lot of personal collection stuff too.
then a couple days later, another Halo Xbox came in after we sold the one that came from my personal collection. So we have another one in stock right now.
So that's the thing we do. We both rotate stuff out of our personal collections sometimes for the store,
I
keep it
mean,
fresh.
hell, there were times where I've actually donated stuff to you guys as well, because it's something, again, people really haven't seen or that would sell. Because I know you guys do, depending, I know you guys do trades and everything, but it's like it really depends. Because if it's like your basic thing everyone has, or
Right.
it's just something you're not selling, but if it's like something ultimate rare like you haven't seen since you were a kid, it's like, yeah, well, we'll take it.
Right. It just depends. Yeah.
And we're doing less in-store buying now. We still do our fair share. but we've had to get much more particular as the store is evolved, because we
Definitely.
know what our market is, and we're still in the process of trying to get just, we're, like I said, we're in our fourth year. So picture the items that you bought over that period that didn't work out, that didn't end up being hot sellers, that you bought and took a chance on because you were trying to figure out the market at the time. Well, all that stuff has to go somewhere, and it ends up in the basement. And then we got to figure out what to do with it,
Or in the
because
back
we need the
room.
stuff on the floor that doesn't just take up space. We need stuff on the floor that people want.
And you
Oh
have to
yeah.
liquidate it.
I mean, I've seen in your guys' back room behind the trading card area, there's like stuff that like I don't think anyone's seen in over a super long time, because there's some stuff I see in that back room that looks like it has been seen in almost like 50 years or so. It's crazy like how much stuff you guys have. Back to you, Nick. What's something you would like to see in the shop? Like what's something you would like to own in the shop eventually someday?
Oh, I don't know, full blown DeLorean.
You always go back to DeLorean.
I don't know. I honestly, I'd like the shop to own some replica movie car for marketing at some point.
I wanted the replica Slimer.
Yeah,
Oh. Oh,
I,
Yeah.
like those old movie statues or video game statues you used to see like in at like Blockbuster or video game stores.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I say a DeLorean, but probably what's more in my budget is a Bluesmobile.
That'd be cool.
Oh yeah, because I think what speaking of DeLorean, you had like a MIDI remote control DeLorean, I think, or you were looking one up.
No, we still have three of them in stock. Yeah, it's
And
a
then you
pretty
used
neat
to
build.
have then you used to have Marty McFly's hoverboard, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
The hoverboard's still hanging on the wall.
In the jacket.
And the jacket, yeah. I actually still have the market cornered on these replica Ghostbusters firehouse signs. We have one hanging in the window, and I've got a couple more still available, but they made 500 units, and I ended up with the 5 artist proofs that they made.
Ooh.
And since they're no longer available, artist proof models, when you can find them online, I don't know if this is reality or not. They were going for around 2 grand a piece, but now since you can't get them anymore, 2 grand for a regular unit, one of 500.
Mhm.
Now, when you see them pop up, they're between $3,000 and $5,000.
Oh,
So
geez, I think I remember a customer asking you about one of those signs before.
yeah, we've sold. Well, I sold the very first one we had, which was a number 49 of 500. And then they ended up with the artist proofs. The one in the window is now artist proof number 5. I still own number 1 and 2. Numbers 3 and 4 sold.
Nice. And it's crazy to see how far along your shops come from when you first started back in 2021, where you had the pictures of like where it just looked empty and barren, getting stuff set up, to how it is now. And I know like the past, over 3 years, it's definitely seen like a lot of changes, but it still feels like the same retro wormhole. Like you want to come in, you want to see what they have, you want to buy what they have, because again, you haven't seen that stuff. No one's seen this type of stuff in a long time, or it's something new that no one's ever seen either. I mean, like for example, I remember when you guys had, one of these things, and I've never seen or I've never heard of seen one of these little penguin robots
I
before.
don't remember what it was, what it was. I remember it. I just don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
Yeah, and then you had Legos for a while before Bricks and Minifigs opened, and I know you guys are good friends with them, and I know you guys have done like cross stuff with a bunch of the local shops nearby, especially with Rogue Comics,
Yeah, we no longer do Legos. That goes to
Bricks and
bricks.
Bricks
Minifigs.
and Minifig
Yeah.
Medford has the market on Legos. Also,
Great people.
I believe Galaxy Toys,
Oh,
another shop right near us, is still doing Legos. So we deferred.
yeah.
We exited Legos. We weren't doing a lot of Legos. We were only really doing the pop culture related
Star
ones, Star
Wars.
Wars and stuff. So we deferred on the Legos and just layered in more into the products that were our strengths.
Nice. And I think one of my favorite things about your guys' store is when you walk in, you'll see one TV display of a movie or so, and then you see another TV display of like retro video games being played, which I think is really cool because again, you haven't seen that type of stuff since the old like Blockbuster and video game store when they used to have like displays of like stuff like that, or like when you go to Walmart and they used to have those old demo displays you used to play back in like the
Yeah.
early 2000s.
Yep.
Yeah, we generally on any given day we generally have 4 TVs going in here. One CRT playing a VHS movie, um, one flat screen playing video games, one larger flat screen playing a movie or Night Flight or something,
Which is cool.
and then another TV at the back that's generally playing something else. And then we also have right now the 3 arcade cabinets going. So there's a
Nice.
lot of screens going.
I mean, you also have the crane machine, and then next to that is that what are those type of sunglasses? And that one
Yeah,
and
so
that
that
and
hasn't come up yet. We also carry a line of sunglasses
yeah.
called Pit Vipers, which
Yeah,
is a
like
retro
those
line
old
of
like
sunglasses.
the type that Macho Man Randy
Yes.
Savage used to wear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
And we sell quite a few of them. So they fit. So we we don't bucket things necessarily by, you know, what it is necessarily. Like what if it's retro, we'll ask ourselves, does this line fit in the store and can we sell it? And that's kind of what it was with the sunglasses. The answer was yes. So we started selling sunglasses, you know. I mean, it just depends on what it is. There's a lot of things that are retro, like Beanie Babies. We're not selling Beanie
Oh,
Babies.
right. I mean, I can't. No offense, I can't picture you guys. I can't picture you guys selling Beanie Babies as classic as they are. I just can't see that. I'm sorry for anyone who likes Beanie Babies. I just can't see it.
Yeah, I mean, there's collectors out there, but
It's
we
hard to
we
find the
don't do
real
a
one.
lot with like Barbie or
Or Strawberry Shortcake
Occasionally.
or
Occasional.
My Little Pony and stuff like that.
the My Little Pony stuff, Rainbow Bright, Strawberry Shortcake, Care Bears. That stuff sells if I can get it. We still get it from time to time, but it's not there's not a constant flow of it, particularly in good shape.
Oh yeah, because if you like, it's all like raggedy or something's missing or it's super dirty or it's just
Right.
The exception to the rule for me is definitely like the stuff, once again, back to like to the harder to find things. Like we don't do Barbie, but like we sold a pregnant Barbie or a Midge Barbie, or the ones that didn't
Well, it
quite, make it. Like
wasn't Barbie. There was a
well, it's a
Barbie called
Midge.
a Barbie called Midge. It was part of the Barbie line,
oh yeah, she
and
because yeah, she
she
was
was pregnant.
pregnant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
with
mention
with
her in
And
with
I don't
with
know if it got pulled or what happened,
I
but
don't
it
know.
it in hindsight, it is kind of rare
Yeah,
and considered a little bit controversial.
Oh yeah, I
yeah.
mean,
Well, we'll
she
see that.
became popular again with the Barbie movie that just came out like what
Yeah,
last year. So like yeah,
yeah.
again, like you guys will get that rare stuff like I've never even heard of, and I have a slight knowledge of the retro stuff, but like again, it's like has anyone heard of it? Has anyone seen it? Or it's like the old like the Tarzan toy where he has his knife and it looks like he's doing something that he shouldn't be doing.
Right. And we not too long ago we got this. What was that stretch? It was like a Stretch Armstrong almost, but it was a DC. It was Red Skull or something, and it was very rare. And it was from the '70s, and you just never know.
Oh wow. Um a question I want to get back to about the Pit Viper glasses. Where did you get that awesome like the arcade style looking display case? Because I always eyeball that thing. Because
Um,
I keep on thinking it's a real arcade, and it's like, oh wait, it's the display case in the
that
shape of an
is
arcade cabinet.
Yeah, that cabinet is it is given to you by Pit Viper when you buy a whole lot of Pit Vipers. Yeah, you have to buy a lot of pit vipers and they give you that cabinet to
It's
display
like
glasses.
like you guys bought a lot of our glasses. Here, have this display case that looks like an
It's
arcade
actually the
cabinet.
second one. The first one they shipped us got destroyed.
Like the
It
image,
was
it was
completely
bad.
trashed when it arrived,
Oh,
and they
because
had to
like
send us
Like
another one.
it fell off the truck, onto the ground.
oh God, I can't imagine all that glass and
It
just
was sad.
broken.
It was bad.
Oh, I'll bet like it's finally here. Fuck.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh man. Um back now to you, Dano, before we end this. What kind of impact has the retro wormhole had on you over the past 2 years since you started?
Um, well, I like the ability to work for myself and have a partner that I can get along with, and we have fun doing that. So I guess the biggest impact is like I show up here and I enjoy it, and I have a good time. I go home and I tell my partner and about my day, and it's always good things.
I'm
I mean,
sure
sometimes, yeah, everybody has a bad day, right? But most most of the days, I mean, we just have fun, right? I mean, that's the great part of this.
and I'm sure
And,
like
it doesn't
nice.
really feel like work. I mean,
I'm
it's a
sh
lot of work, but it's like,
Oh, oh, it froze. Oh, there we go. I'm sure young Dan will be like, yo, yeah, I'm doing something like, I'm around all this stuff I used to like as a kid and everything.
yeah, a lot of people like always saw me doing this. Yeah, they weren't surprised.
I'm sure if you can go tell, I'm sure if you can tell, I'm sure you can go back and tell your younger self that this is something you'd be doing. I'm sure they'd be like, oh, hell yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, and I would have probably held on to more of my stuff, so I had better inventory. Yep.
Uh, nice. Same question for you, Nick. What kind of impact has the Retro Wormhole had on you since you've opened it back in 2021?
Yeah, it's changed my life quite a bit. I get recognized a lot more, which is not a bad thing, but it's not always a great thing. Just around town, Medford's not huge, so we have a lot of there's a lot of people that just say, "Hey, you're the retro guy." We were going through a Wendy's drive-through one time and they recognized me in Ashland.
Grants Pass, they
Grants Pass, at the game, and we were at GameStop one time and they recognized us.
Yeah.
Um, so from that perspective, that's interesting. That's something that I never really anticipated. Um, it's it's become such a part of people's lives. I mean, it's definitely the focal point of my life, but we have so many customers that are so happy that
Yeah.
we're here, or that are passing through from their way from California to Washington or Washington to California or visiting the area, that say that every time they come through, they make it a point to stop by. And it's amazing that this kind of store exists in this town and they don't have anything like it. And they often ask if we're part of a chain or a franchise. And I said, no, this is
Not
the
yet.
only one, not yet.
Not yet.
you know, we'd like to have more stores someday.
Absolutely.
We haven't quite figured out what that's going to look like or how to make that happen. But
There's ideas.
yeah, we got ideas. We have a great social media following.
But yeah, what you said, the happiness, the joy it brings to the at all ages too, like grandpa, the son, the grandson, they all come in, they all have a good time. And like we sell memories, like especially in a time when our world is so unpredictable. And it's like this is just so fun, the memories that it brings out that
And we don't even just sell memories. Some
I mean,
people buy, we give
right,
memories. We
sure.
give memories free of charge. Some people choose to buy things that
Right.
enhance memories further. Put it that way.
I like that. I like that. Sure.
Nice. I mean, again, you guys have seemed to have enjoyed it for as long, and I know I'm sure you're looking forward to seeing how this store does, later down the road and everything too. Like, I mean, every time I come in, I mean, I don't know about the times I'm not in, but like every time I come in, I see like a lot of people in. There's like one day I come in and there's like a lot of people. Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have those days still where we'll look up
It's
and
just
look
like,
around
whoa.
and be like, that's exactly what we see. Holy crap, where all
Yeah.
these people come from?
Like, how'd you
What
get
just
here?
happened? Just boom.
Which is why when we changed the store layout a little bit, we added the second register because it gets, we don't always need the second register, but there's times in here where it's crazy and we can definitely use it.
It's again, it's crazy that like I mean, I'm sure like in the next like couple months or so, you're gonna probably have to rearrange the store around. And again, I'm sure having that second register is nice because there are times where you'll like need like the extra hands because I know sometimes you'll have people come in the store like JC or a few other people will come in and just like help out because it can get very busy because there are times where I see you're back and forth in the store helping someone and then another one person wants to come in.
Yeah, and I mean, the move we just made is actually part of a bigger overarching long-term floor plan that we're working on. So this the changes that you saw recently is kind of phase one, and that's going to continue to transition, but it's going to take some time because there's certain lines that we need to um, condense or sell down on so we can move them to different parts of the store and transition things even further.
Absolutely.
Nice. I think the last thing is, before we end this, Nick, would you care to drop the links below so people know where to find you guys and stay up to date with whatever you're gonna be doing for the store? And I also know you guys will do the thing where when people come in, you always do those drawings at the end of the month. If you want to talk about that real quick.
Um, yeah, so we do a raffle every month. Basically, if you come in and you spend $5 in the store, you get a raffle ticket, and you keep half and we keep half. You don't have to fill anything out. At the end of the month, we take and draw 10 of the tickets from the jar that we have, and we put them in an old Blockbuster case that we have on display behind the register.
Nice.
Blockbuster video DVD case. And then if you come in the following month with your ticket from the previous month, so tickets change color every month. So if you come in like next month, if you come in with orange tickets that you got in July, and one of your tickets matches one of the ones that we pulled, it's worth $20 in store. Additionally, we run a points program with a pretty low threshold. So the points program is also very helpful and keeps our customers engaged and updated. We can message them, text message, email. We don't do it a lot. They mainly get updates on where their point status is at. So if they get to 100 points, they can use it for 10% off regular price merchandise in the store. So we're always um, customer retention and the marketing aspect of it is a big part of what we do to build our brands and our relationships with our customer base and grow into new customers.
Nice. And I know for a while when you first started the whole the prize giveaway thing, you used to have like it was usually like what one of two prizes or so, something from the shop if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, early on, we the first one we ever did, we did a much larger prize. We just learned over the long term, it was better to kind of spread the prizes out. So that's the way we do it, not just for our raffles, but anything we donate to, or participate in, sponsor, whether it's Rogue Comic Con or
More prizes.
yeah, or local schools,
Yeah.
a variety of things. We try to we generally don't do big giant items anymore.
Well, that honestly makes sense that you wouldn't do that. Let's see. Oh yeah. So what's the links? So people can follow you guys, stay up to date with the store, and in case you guys get like new items that they like, ooh, I want to go there.
The best way to see what we got new that's going on It's going to be through our Facebook and Instagram social media. Instagram is just the Retro Wormhole. But you can also find, so Retro Wormhole is going to kind of be everything. Rogue Records and Music is going to be specifically what we got going on new for music. Rogue Trading Company is going to be specifically what we got going on for new Pokemon product. And then there's one other one that we're working with, and that's Rogue Life Designs. Because what we forgot to mention is that we're actually running a full-blown sticker printing business out facility in our basement as well.
I mean, hell, I've got a bunch of your stickers on my
Yes,
wall,
we've got
my display wall right here.
we've got somewhere probably around 50 different logos, 50 different stickers that are Retro Wormhole, Rogue Trading, Rogue Records, Rogue Life Designs, sticker designs, 50 to 60 somewhere in there that since we've opened, giving out stickers with purchases has always been a big part of what we do. And the stickers could be movie themed or video game themed or music themed, a bunch of different stuff. And that kind of turned into a whole nother business to where now we actually do custom designs and short run sticker printing out of the basement. So much so that the printer we have, which is good for short runs, isn't good for larger runs. So we're probably going to be adding another machine so that we can do larger volume custom sticker runs.
That'd be nice. That'd be honestly cool to see.
And it's not just stickers. We can do vinyl banners. We can do a variety of things.
Because I have, like I said, I got like a good. I mean, for the like I said, I got a bunch of you from like your Ghostbusters one, your one that's based off of Flash Gordon, your Indiana Jones one, your Pokemon one, your Nintendo one, your Blues Brothers one, like
Sega, Atari, Rainbow Bright.
Yeah, I got the Rainbow Bright one. I got the Star Wars one. I even got your old ones based off your old logo too. Like, I mean, I think it's cool that you guys will always have like these different types of like stickers for your shop, and not just that, but you have like regular stickers from like TV shows, music, movies, and everything too. That you have like one of your record shaped bowls.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
absolutely.
Yeah, no, and for the audience out there, and I know you guys will get a kick at this, I assure you they're open.
Yes, if you come by, we're open Wednesday through Saturday from 11 to 6. If you come by, you will see the corners of the building say "Be Kind, Rewind," and then we do have his sign, a homage sign, came from Clerks, basically, that says "I assure you world." So.
And you guys, and like I said, where in Medford are you located, by the way? Just so those who are listening or watching this will know.
We're in downtown Medford on Central Avenue, directly across the street from the Woolworth building and next to Rogue City Comics. So if you find us and you come by Wednesday through Saturday, our hours are pretty much the same as Rogue City Comics, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., although Rogue City closes a little bit earlier on Saturday.
That's right.
You got a 2-for-1. You get to come in the Retro Wormhole, Rogue Records, Rogue Trading Company, Rogue Life Designs, but then you can also go over to the other side and go to Rogue City Comics, check out their massive comic book selection as well.
Great. And honestly, Steve and Jamie are great people too.
Absolutely.
So great.
I think that should do it. Again, Nick and Dano, thank you for coming on to do a update for the Retro Wormhole. Looking to do this again in the next couple of years when you guys have like more stuff and maybe expand
More
the building
stores.
more. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. If you guys ever do the downstairs arcade, that'd be really cool. I would love to take a look.
We have a retro megaplex.
Yeah. Retro
With a roller skating rink in the center of
it. Arcade.
As always, I'm Wayne the Unknown. Until next time, thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for watching.